had my pint at PJ's, and I'm just walking back home now. And the weather's indifferent again, a bit spitting a little. It's been overcast pretty well the whole day, little patches of sunshine but nothing much. It's interesting with the with PJ's, the girl serving me, she was very friendly and everything, but she kept calling me darling. And the weird thing is, it became quite irritating because she kept repeating it continually. And I noticed that she didn't call anybody else by that name. So I thought that may be just her own affectation, but it wasn't. It was just aimed at me particularly, so that was not good. Another thing I checked out recently is just the specs on the well, these are projected specs on the new release of the next generation of GoPro cameras, and it generally happens, I think, around September of each year, September, October period, when I'm going to be overseas, so it's in a particularly bad time for me. And the speculation is that they might do something about the low light situation by putting in a 1-inch sensor, but that's only speculation. So what it is saying to me is that the camera that I've got isn't that much worse when it comes to low light than the newer GoPros. They do have a setting for low light, this one doesn't have, but that may be just all it is. It might be just settings with the same hardware, so just to make it a little better for low light. So a lot of unruly kids around here at the moment. Oh, there they go. It just feels like the bloody creche next door. I can't get away from them. That's the one good thing about having a drink in the afternoon, I get away from the creche, but the creche follows you around this place. There's a lot of kids in this place, this city. Anyway, so the specs on the GoPro are not as good as I thought, so I'm thinking I'm not going to go and get the GoPro 7 before I travel again. I'll wait until the new one comes out. And the major advantage of the GoPro 7 has better stabilization, which is good, but I could use the other camera, and I don't think the stabilization is a major issue for me. I've got a fairly steady hand, I think, and I don't think I'd get much advantage with the walk and talk things, because the other comment that was made was that apparently since my version of GoPro, which is the 4, there hasn't been an improvement in the sound at all. As a matter of fact, I think it might be worse. Now, if that's the case, why would I bother buying a supposed upgraded version just for picture stabilization and maybe some new settings to make it more low light friendly, which I can probably do myself, but it's very difficult given the way that the menu is set up here, because it's just a very small LED screen in grey and black, and I simply can't see it. So when I use this camera, I just push buttons in a certain sequence just to get them to basically start shooting. I can't change any of the settings, I just don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, so I don't think I'll bother with that. I mean, I've got enough expenses as it is. So I'm committed to the Spanish trip. That's going to set me back, I would think, at least $4,000 if I'm doing it on a budget, maybe 5 if I'm going to splurge a bit. So it's a fair bit of money, because I'm staying there for a whole month. It's such a long trip to get there, 13 hours to go from Singapore to Heathrow, and then a couple more hours, 2.5 I think, to get to Madrid. So it's quite a long journey. I'm going to break it up a bit at least, so that's good. I mean, the one, if you go, when I went from Melbourne to Barcelona, it was 14 hours to Doha, and then another 7 hours to Barcelona. So that was really quite grueling. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah, as far as expenses with cameras and stuff, I'm going to be pretty hard-nosed when it comes to that. I mean, this GoPro works fine. It's good enough for what I want. I'll still take the big other camera, the camcorder, which is better in low light. Might use it in tapas bars, but it's a bit unwielding, so we'll see. But if the tapas people don't care about me taking photos, I'll use it there to just get some coverage, because my idea is to do quite a few tapas crawls, and it's such a great location. And nearly every one of the tapas bars has a rating of 4 out of 5 or better in my area. I think Tapas Meals, one of them did quote the actual price, and I've been watching a site online where they actually go and do tapas crawls by a New Zealand guy who's married a Spanish girl, and they live in Madrid, but they tour around, and it's James, what's his last name? Glick? Not Glick. Can't remember. But anyway, I'll put it up on the screen anyway. You'll get it. Anyway, James seems like a nice guy. He actually replies to a lot of my postings, which is pretty amazing, because it's quite a popular site he's got. But they do tapas crawls in various cities. But seeing I had such success with the Google review system in Vietnam, I thought, well, I'll give it a go in Spain as well. And as I say, I'm in a fantastic location. It's very close to nearly every tapas bar in the vicinity, the ones that are listed anyway, so should be good. Boy, that guy's got a lot of luck. He's taken stuff on a trolley, a hand trolley. That's how much luggage the guy's got. I think he'd be taking a taxi or something if you've got that much. Anyway, yeah, so it should be a foodie's paradise, and I really haven't done this before, and I'm wondering why I didn't. I think mainly budget, but getting back to the actual costs, of the cost that I've actually identified. Well, at least one of the posts they actually mentioned how much the tapas was. It's about $4 for each serve of tapas, but tapas varies in quantity so much. I don't think they were large portions, and that can vary to such a degree that sometimes they're almost like mini meals. So if you're paying €4 for a mini meal, you're doing damn well, but I think in most cases they'd be fairly small serves. So it all depends. But I remember another review, someone said that they actually ordered a larger portion, supposedly a proper meal with a particular course, and they said that the tapas, smaller ones, weren't so small that that was actually better to buy them than to buy the large one, because it didn't make up for the full amount of the multiple numbers of tapas meals. So the tapas meal was better value, so, which is strange, because you would think it'd go the other way around, but they were convinced no. So you've got to be careful. But it's a bit more high-end than what I ate. I didn't eat that brilliantly when I was in Spain last time, so this is my chance to really spread my wings a bit. I didn't actually splurge much in Saigon last time. I went to cheaper places, but like I said, when the seafood places can provide reasonable nosh at an amazingly good price, plus they give you dirt cheap beer. There's nothing to complain about. It's just the ambience isn't there. That place actually got back to me, the Thang 33 I think it's called, in Saigon. They did reply to my review. It's the only time I've actually received one of the owners actually replying, because I gave them quite a good review, but I've given a few places good reviews, and they're the first ones that have actually bothered to get back to me. So that was quite good of them, although in person they weren't that friendly. I mean, they weren't unfriendly, but they weren't effusive. They basically, I didn't get much feedback from them. They just basically they had work to do, and I left without having a chance to compliment them to their face. So that was a bit strange. But yeah, I'm feeling a lot better about the trip to Spain. Last night I was thinking, geez, have I gone crazy here and booked too much up marketplace and splurging way too much? But I don't think so. Just like I say, if someone wants to come and stay there, they can. There's another bedroom, so it's an option available to family and friends if they are going to be in that area. It's a big bonus if you can get yourself a room for the night and you pay bugger all. Well, I wouldn't charge them, but you know, if they'd bought me a few meals, I'd be quite grateful. But I don't. You know, I've got to be mercenary about it. But yeah, that would be good. It'd be a bit of a shame if I don't use that other room, because that's going to be quite in demand at the time that I'm going to be there. September's quite a busy month, I think, in Seville. It'll be about the end of the tourist period, I would think. I don't know why I pushed that button then. It was stupid of me. I do many stupid things in my life. It's getting dull already. So it's quite dark in the mornings now. It doesn't actually get light until about 6:30 to 7:15 now. It's quite late. So, and I think it's just before 5 o'clock right now, and you can see it's not exactly sunny or bright, but it is overcast a bit. But yeah, the light's definitely, it's the middle of winter. It'll be the shortest day, I guess, on the 21st of next month. So we've still got a month to go, so it's going to get even shorter. I hadn't noticed the days getting this short last year I was here, so, but I'm noticing it now. Maybe I'm getting up earlier. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great. But please don't ignore me. That's the worst thing you can do on YouTube, is be ignored.